Hello, welcome to Comic Scene, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about the Avenging Angel, Azreal. Azreal. He had my mantle once. Yes.
Well, hello, children of comic book world. Adam here, Comic Scene, and in this episode, this extended video, not a random fact, but extended video, we're going to be talking about Azreal, the Avenging Angel, as it were. His first appearance was in October of 1992, and he was created by Denny O'Neil and Joe Quesada. So, in this book, this is Volume 1 of The Fallen Angel. This volume, it ranges, I guess, all from appearance 1 to probably the mid of his run, I guess. I'm sure he still has a run. I'm not too familiar with it. However, this is from the 90s. First appearance, like I said, was 92 in October. And his little mini-series of his first appearance was called Sword of Azreal. And I just got done reading that, plus amongst all this other good stuff in here. And I gotta say, I didn't know as much as I did about Azreal, but his backstory is amazing. I first found out about him in the Arkham City game, where he kind of just pops up, and you gotta figure out who this guy is. He's wearing, armor, and he's got a, I guess, I don't know if it's called a tunic or a cloak or whatever, that has, the big Templar, cross on it. Cross, spectacles, testicles, something, cross, anyway. So, come to find out, he's with this order of Saint Dumas, or Saint Dumas, however you want to pronounce it. And they're a fictional organization that was spawned from the Knights Templars. And they're, kind of how in the Gotham Batman universe, which, he is part of, you have the, Order of Saint Dumas, and then you have the Court of Owls, which is kind of, I guess you could say, both organizations. You have Saint Dumas, which is the Knights Templars, Freemasons, or whatever, and then you have the Court of Owls, which is kind of the Gotham Illuminati. So it's pretty cool, and eventually we're going to talk about that. And I know in these videos I talk a lot about Batman, but look, I have a problem, okay? So yes, his backstory. So there was two Azraels. You had John Paul Valley, and then you had Michael Lane. John Paul Valley took up the mantle of Azrael after his father, who was one of the Azraels. Now you got to understand, these Azraels have been going on since I don't know, the Dark Ages, okay? All dating back to the Knights Templar. They broke off, and instead of following God, they followed the Saint Dumas, whatever his name was. Anyway, so you have John Paul Valley, his father, in the first appearance of Azrael. His father was the first Azrael, and it shows him falling from the sky down to the streets of Gotham, and they're doing their 100th anniversary or something like that, some kind of big parade thing, kind of like how we do New Year's and stuff. So anyway, it shows him falling, and he's crawling to his son's door, and Jean Paul Valley opens the door and sees this guy and figures out it's his dad, and he's told the story, about the order and all this stuff, and his father dies, and he left his son a note, I think it was, with instructions to go to this place, and when he gets there, he finds this little troll-looking dude with red eyes and this big, beefy dude, and he gets, I guess you could say, trapped, or they keep him there, and they start training him and exposing him to this order, and telling him that, he is to be the next Azrael. I guess over the centuries, these men, from what I've read in these books, it's passed down heritage, father becomes Azrael, father dies, son becomes Azrael, and so on, so on, so on, so on. But it goes deeper than that. So, after the Sword of Azreal, well, let me tell you a little bit about Sword of Azreal. So, that's issue 1, okay? Issue 2, book 2, as they call it. Book 2 it's showing him training, and Batman gets involved. And Batman reads on the news that this fallen angel was seen in Gotham, and he goes to where the crime scene is, finds a sword, tracks it down, and they end up at the place where John Paul Valley is, trying to figure out, what's up with this fallen angel thing. He's a detective, he can't help it, he's got to find out shit. The Bat does. He goes to the location, and him and Alfred get shot down in their helicopter, and they get shot down, but they survive, everything's alright. And Alfred's all like, it's freezing out here, blah, blah, blah. Batman throws him his coat, and underneath, of course, he's got the bat suit on, puts the cowl back on, and all this stuff. Like I said, I'm not going to try to give you too much, because I really want you guys to read this book, so I'm just going to kind of paraphrase a little bit. So, anyway, they get into, like, this gun battle. Turns out there's this guy is killing off all the Azraels, and trying to kill everybody in the order. And he worships this god called Bis, this demon. That's when he comes into play. Book 3. After Batman and Alfred find this like little secret lair that's underground or whatever, it cuts to a few scenes of this guy, the demon or whatever he's called, and it shows him like putting on this like combat armor with like bullets and guns, all this shit. He's tracking down people in the order. Batman's tracking down the order to find out, what's all this about. And Azreal, John Paul Valley, is trying to find more people in the order with the little troll-looking dude, and they're trying to, like, save as many people in the order as they can. And one of the guys in the order is, like, this old-timer, and he's in a hospital over in Europe somewhere, and they find him. So, John Paul Valley shows up, this demon dude shows up, and Batman shows up. And in the midst of all this, Azrael's not ready to fight yet. He has the armor on, the new improved Azrael armor. See, like, his father wore, like, it looked like Knights Templar armor. But his armor is kind of, like, futuristic. The blades come out of his gauntlets and stuff. It's pretty cool. So, he's not ready to fight yet. Batman shows up, and there's this big fight. And Batman is actually held captive by this demon-worshipping dude, whatever, who's taking on the mantle of his demon, I guess you could say. He kidnaps Bruce, and Alfred is left with Azrael and this little dude or whatever. And now they have to go find Batman, Bruce Wayne, and go find this demon guy. Because essentially Azrael and this little demon dude are trying to fight and kill that guy. But in the process, they're going to wind up saving Bruce Wayne. So anyway, this guy's talking to Bruce. He's got him like tied to a fucking pipe or whatever, and he's talking to him, telling him a little bit about him and what his plans are and all this stuff. And he's trying to torture Bruce. He's been giving him like a truth agent, like a serum or whatever, truth serum, and he actually takes the bat suit and wears it and goes off to kill the rest of the order into the bat costume, trying to, I don't know, keep his little demon shit like under wraps, I guess, and just try to frame Batman or whatever. So anyway, book 4, they all meet up at the same place. There's this fight, and the building is set on fire where the Bis guy has Bruce, and Azrael is fighting this demon worshiping dude, and after he vanquishes them, his little buddy's all like, alright, our work's here done. Azrael's not a hero, he's an avenging angel who, is all about revenge, and Azrael is supposed to be like the angel of death, I guess you could say. Jean Paul Valley is so conflicted with who he is, who he once was, and this Azrael. And every time he puts the mask on, he embodies Azrael. So instead of just leaving Bruce in this fire, he saves him. And, Alfred's all like, that's a good lad, and blah, blah, blah. And his little buddy's all pissed off because he did something that Azrael would not do. So after all this is said and done, Batman kind of watches Azrael. And I think it's the sword, this little mini-series that leads up to the Nightfall story arc, where Bane breaks Batman's back. Now, because of this, because of the Nightfall run, Azreal takes on the mantle of Batman for a time while Batman's broken. So, in this volume, the other stories is after the Nightfall and after his run as Batman, because the next few books, it shows John Paul Valley like in the gutter, like not like in the gutter, but like on the streets, and he doesn't know who he is. He keeps having these flashes of like fighting demons and hellfires around him everywhere and stuff, and he's fighting all these demons as the angel Azrael, but to everybody else, he's just a guy. And so in these stories, he's trying to figure out who he is, and Batman's back, and Batman wants to help him because he took on the mantle, not realizing what it could do to him because he's in such a fragile state with his mind and conflicted about who he is. And so in these stories, I'm just going to kind of paraphrase these a little bit. The first book, it shows him on the streets with all these homeless people, and he's trying to figure out who he was, and his inner monologue's talking about, like, you know, I was the Bat, I was the savior of Gotham, and blah, 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 right? So, in the next book, it shows the first few panels, it shows him fighting, like, this demon Batman. So you have, like, Azrael, the angel, and this demon Batman, and I guess to me, it seemed like it was, like, his mind fighting about who he should be, right? And it's showing him fighting, but as they're fighting, you can hear people talking, saying, like, or you can hear the demon Batman saying, you know, I want your shoes, and, you know, I'm going to whoop your ass, and blah, blah, blah. And Azrael gets the best of him, knocks him down and stuff, and it panels showing Azrael and Batman, and it just shows, like, these panels, and all of a sudden, it's just John Paul Valley in this alleyway who just fought this guy because the guy was trying to rob him for his shoes. So he teams up, or he doesn't team up, but he's this guy comes out of the woodwork, and he starts talking to him. He's like, you really whooped up on him, and it seems like you have, like, some combat training, you know, like, who are you? Just another homeless guy, old drunk dude. And they walk to the shelter, and John Paul Valley is, you know, saying, like, this is where I've been staying, and the guy's like, well, I got better quarters, and it's just an alleyway with his bottles because he's an alcoholic. So anyway, the guy that he beat up, you know, he wanted to get, you know, sack revenge or whatever. So they find the old guy, start beating him up. John Paul Valley shows back up, whoops their ass again, and that kind of makes them friends or whatever. And the old guy used to be a psychiatrist, and he keeps saying, you know, I haven't practiced in like 10 years, but it seems to me whenever you see these hallucinations, just ignore them. Which his hallucinations are like hellfire and demons and shit like that because of his, I guess, his brainwashing for the Order. So he takes this into consideration. When he goes back to the shelter, the guys that he beat up, again, are like, you know, wanting to get revenge, so they set the, I guess, I think it's like a soup kitchen at a church, and like there's a priest there or whatever for homeless men, and they set this building on fire, and everybody else is all panicking and screaming and saying, you know, there's fire everywhere and blah, 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 and it just shows John Paul Valley just sitting there, kind of blank, just kind of like this, and his inner monologue says, if you see something out of the ordinary that shouldn't be there, ignore it. So he's seeing all this fire and flames, and because he sees that all the time, he thinks it's just another hallucination. So he just kind of sits there. Batman shows up and pulls him out of the fire and says he wants to help him, and he gives him this bag and takes him, he puts him in the Batmobile, and the Batmobile is cool. It's the old school Batmobile. You know, the old school with the big face on it, the big fin in the back. Anyway, he takes him to this location, and he says, in this bag, you have a map, you have a bank card with a few $1 million on it, and then you have other cards on it that lead to other Swiss accounts if you need more money. And he has the Azreal armor in it. and he said you may need this, and just trying to discover what's, you know, who you were and what's going on with this order and everything. So anyway, Azreal, I'm just going to call him Azreal because I keep messing up on John Paul Valley. It's a mouthful. Anyway, Azreal goes and finds this old guy, the old guy that he had saved from the guys, and he gets him and says, hey, you know, do you want to come with me? So they go to the location of this big castle-looking thing, and it's where the Order is, right? And they're training another Azreal. John Paul Valley Azreal has been gone for so long, and they don't know if he's alive or dead or what. So it shows this chick, Sister Lily, and then she's training this new Azreal. So anyway, again, they show up, and there's like this fight and stuff, and Azreal, John Paul, gets into the castle, starts figuring out what's going on with this whole order and the system. The system is what has brainwashed him. So I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit. So there's like this big escape because Sister Lily gets Azreal, John Paul, to try to kill the leader of this castle or whatever. Not leader, but like the guy who runs everything or whatever. And he fails, and they both have to flee. And with the old drunk dude, they all have to flee and escape because, you know, they disobeyed Saint Amai, so they have to escape or they're gonna get killed. So in their adventure trying to figure out what's going on, guess who shows up? Fucking Ra's al Ghul, or Raish, however you want to say it. I always saw it as Ra's. So Ra's al Ghul shows up talking to Talia when they catch wind of what's been going on, and the angel Azreal, you know, he talks about how the Order of Saint Amai has been around just as long as he has, and he knew like the actual Saint Amai and everything, because, you know, Ra's al Ghul is probably like 400 years old and whatever because of the Lazarus Pit. So I just thought it was kind of cool how they threw him in there, because his order has been around for a long time too. The whole assassins, the whole League of Assassins and whatnot. So anyway, they all team up, or they don't team up, but they meet up. He's introduced to Ra's, and Ra's is trying to figure out if this guy really is an angel, Azreal. Then there's some more fight scenes, and well, there was one fight scene because Raish wanted to test him, so he sent some of his assassins in, and like I said, every time Azreal puts the helmet on, he becomes the angel. Jean Paul goes away, and because the angel shows up, he's like incredibly strong, he's quick, he's skilled, he's a killer, you know? So anyway, he's tested, he is the angel Azreal to Ra's, and they want to help him, and Ra's tries to get him into the League, and, you know, tries to convince him, like, being an heir, kind of like he does to Batman. I need an heir to the demon's head, blah, blah. It's like, whatever, Ray, shut the fuck up. So, Azreal doesn't want to do it. So he wants to figure out what's going on with him. So, Talia takes him and his companions further out of their territory, I guess you could say, on the road to finding out what's going on, okay? So, next issue, he finds out what this whole system is about, right? They find this location of this place, and Angel Azreal gets down there, finds out that it is heritage, I guess you could say, from one Azreal to the next, but it's not how you think it is. It's not father and son. It's Azreal to Azreal, because all the Azreals are being grown and like, they're not really like test tube babies, but they're taken as infants, put in this container, and like tortured, and the torturing is training them, making them want that rage and that vengefulness. And Azreal flips out when he finds out that they've been doing this to children, that it was done to him, and he flips out, destroys the whole facility. And Sister Lily told him that, you know, all the Azreals that find out who they really are and whatnot, they go insane and cursed. But it's just insanity. He kind of shows him just kind of losing his mind or whatever. Now, I would imagine that is the end of the John Paul run of Azreal, and then it's Michael Lane, but I'm not too sure. Like I said, I don't know that much about Azreal, but I'm learning, and he's an amazing character. Like I said, he was once the bat. He's skilled in swordplay and combat, and he's brutal. So if you guys ever get a chance to check out some Azreal, it's awesome. Jean Paul Valley is cool, and Michael Lane, I need to learn some more about him. Now, Michael Lane, from what I've read, he was a ex-cop for GCPD who had like a nervous breakdown after something or whatever. I'll actually show you right here. So yeah, if you guys enjoy these videos and want to know more about comic book knowledge, stay tuned for my random facts, and we'll keep diving into the world of comics. If you guys enjoy these videos and you like what I'm doing, subscribe, leave me some comments, follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and follow me on Instagram. And we'll keep diving into the world of comics. Here soon I'm going to be doing a live, I guess you could say, stream of this local comic shop that I know where I actually got that Sword of Azreal, little volume 1. It's an awesome store. It's one of the best comic stores I've ever been to. So in the state of Georgia. So anyway, you guys are enjoying what I'm doing, like and subscribe, and we'll keep diving into the world of comics. And I appreciate y'all watching. Thanks, guys.